DoorDash orders in hot bags. Do you use them? Do you not use them?
I said that too.
Jessica W? I was really close. It's probably still being made, I guess.
Do hot bags do anything to help the food? I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion today. Because when you walk into a McDonald's and they hand you a bag, temperature don't change that much. So we're going to film this video as we're in a little bit of traffic and we're going very slow and we have a little bit of time. Now, I want you to answer a question in the comments, and then you can also let me know if your mind gets changed after this video. Do you think hot bags make a difference significantly or not with keeping food hot or cold when we're picking up orders? Or are you somebody that thinks, yes, they make a significant difference, Pedro, or no, they really don't? It's more about the optics and the illusion of food safety and temperature. Now, I need to start off by saying I am ServSafe certified. I've gone to many classes, reclassified ServSafe, both alcohol and food safety. I used to have to certify others to get certification. So I know all about temperature danger zone, what foods are more safe than or more unsafe than others, which foods don't need to be kept at certain temperatures, which foods, you know, have when it means expiration date versus manufacturer date and best by date. I know all about that, and I just need to preface it because I think some of the things I'm going to say are going to be unpopular, but I want to have a fun conversation. So as you saw in the beginning clips, and I'll insert a few here, most of my majority, 70-80% of my orders, when I get there, they're either sitting on a shelf already or they're sitting behind a shelf and somebody hands it to me. And then the other 20 or 30% maybe, or they're prepared in the moment, or they're still preparing it when I get there and I have to wait, and it's pretty hot and fresh. And another reason for this video is going to be for consumers and for us to let them know, but then also let us know what we can do to protect ourselves from either poor ratings or deactivations or whatever. Now, I want to start off by saying you should use a hot bag. You should have a hot bag. You should have multiple hot bags. You should have a pizza hot bag, because I'll say this right now. A pizza hot bag is the one food item that makes a significant difference. The other being ice cream, but that's up for debate depending on mileage. But you should have multiple bags. The bag that DoorDash gives you is really not that good. So I highly recommend getting some from Amazon or buying a better insulated bag from a different company. But before we can go forward, let's go back a little bit and in the present time. Do you use a hot bag 100% of the time? Yes or no in the bottom of the comments if you want to. Do you only use a hot bag depending on how far it's going in the item, i.e. pizza, ice cream? Now that we got that out of the way, listen. When you go to pick up a Panera order, a Taco Bell, a McDonald's, whatever, right? And that bag's been sitting there. Hey, most of the time it's probably been sitting there by my best estimation, and what I've heard from a lot of you guys, that bag's sitting there 5-10 minutes most of the time. Sometimes, yeah, it's been there 30 minutes, an hour. Those are rare that the bag's going to be sitting there that long. But if the bag's being sat there, and most places don't keep things in hot boxes and things like that under a heat lamp, they're sitting on literally a shelf designed that has a DoorDash logo, a Postmates, a Uber Eats, a Grubhub, or whatever, and it's been sitting there, and it's either like a hot soup, a hot sandwich, a pasta, some fries, a burger, sushi, all the things that we pick up, and it's sitting there, not under a hot lamp, or sometimes it's a cold item, not even in a cold receptacle. So when that soup, for example, that should be at least 165, 170 degrees, or that burger without pink in it, which should be at least 168, 170 degrees, when it gets wrapped and it's sealed and it's in that Shake Shack bag and they put a cold drink next to it, what do you think that temperature's doing to the food? Is it going up? Is it going down? It's going to go down. Over time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's going to continually go down. Now, as long as it doesn't get in the temperature danger zone, not a big deal, not the end of the world. But the food's going down. So it hits 135 degrees, 140 degrees, 145 degrees. So it's warm. In some cases, maybe it's still hot, depending on the bag. And then we put it in our hot bag. It's not going to get hotter. It's going to stay the same. You're going to keep it at that level. And if anything, actually, depending on the season, your car, the type of bag, it will actually continue to go down. Because if it's Shake Shack and there's a shake in there, or McDonald's and there's a cup of ice with Diet Coke, that it's going down in temperature. So consumers get these food, and most of the time it's warm. Think about when you go out to eat, you go and pick yourself something up, you got a 10-15 minute drive, which is normal on most of these trips that we do, right? You get home, the fries ain't hot. The food ain't cold, it's warm, it's takeout. That's what you know that it's takeout. It's not from your kitchen to the table, which is usually 30 seconds, a minute, maybe 2 minutes. So again, I ask, what is a hot bag doing? In my opinion, unless it's ice cream, pizza, and I'm sure there's a few other exceptions, listen, it's optics. It's a customer that has a ring cam looking at you, either bringing up something without a hot bag and them having an opinion or not about it. Most people won't say anything, some will. It's optics for us to check it off when we do our dash. Do you have a hot bag? Yes, I do. And it's a feel good. It puts the customer at ease that we're using a bag to make sure we're transporting their food, making sure that if we're a smoker, the food doesn't smell like a lot of smoke and it's just sitting in the front with us, making sure if we have pets, and even if they're not in the car, there's dog hair, you know, you want to have the food in a separate area from your regular everyday stuff that we do. But once again, it's mostly optics. Now, I recommend, I told you in the beginning of the video, I'm going to give you a couple things you could do to help with ratings and keeping your customer's mind at ease, that you're facilitating their delivery in a respectable way. I haven't always done this, but lately I've actually been taking a picture, leave it at the doors. I'll leave the food, especially like big orders and like all that. Like, I'll leave the food in the bag, open the bag, take a picture, address there, and then that's the picture. So they know I used equipment, they know I used the bag. It helps you with ratings, maybe even helps you with some post tips. Oh man, this guy's really cared for my food. Versus me just taking it and dropping it on the floor. You know, do what you want, but that could help with ratings, could help with post tips. But once again, it's optics, it's putting the customer's mind at ease. It's letting them know that we care about their food, because we should. But in most cases, the hot bag is doing nothing to keep the food in any better condition than it was when it was sitting on the shelf for the 10, 15, 30 minutes, the hour. By putting it in a hot bag, you're doing absolutely nothing for the quality of the food in most cases. And actually, in some cases, it'll do the opposite. Let me explain. Most of us have always been to a Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has the worst to-go bags, at least mine. They're very flimsy. When there's fries and things in there, the moisture of that, the fries getting hot and it escaping, makes the bag soggy. So sometimes when I put those Chick-fil-A bags in a hot bag, and the temperature's doing its steamy thing because it's all like insulated, the bag, I've picked up many Chick-fil-A bags and the bag's crumpled in my hands. That looks bad for us. If I'm a consumer and I get a crumpled bag that's kind of open, not good. But once again, putting that Chick-fil-A bag in another hot bag and zipping it up makes the bag do that more than if you didn't put it in a bag. So now's a good time for you to put an opinion still. Do hot bags do much in most cases, with the exception of ice cream and pizza? And maybe I'm missing some items and, you know, it is what it is. Or is it mostly optics? And is it mostly just, hey, a feel good to make the consumer and DoorDash feel good that we're actually caring for the stuff? But a hot bag, most people think, oh, I'm keeping it hot. I'm keeping it hot. No, you're really not. And once again, this isn't say don't use your hot bag. I use a hot bag. Many times, if I'm being honest, I want to hear from y'all as well. I don't take my hot bag in with me unless it's a brand new place and I want to let them know and build a relationship. Hey, I have a hot bag. You see, I have equipment. But a lot of times I'm in and out, and then I keep my hot bag in the back seat, and then I'll open up the bag door, put the bag in there like you saw in the beginning clips, close the door, that's it. And then even a lot of times, lately I've been bringing a hot bag in, especially if it's rainy or if it's cold or windy. Definitely use a hot bag for everything, because that's also the elements can play a factor in the coldness and the optics of what we're doing. But a lot of times I'll just, once again, open up the back car door, take the bag out, walk it up, boom. And sometimes I bring the bag up. You guys let me know what you do. But listen, not 100, I don't use a hot bag 100% of the time. There are some items, like, for example, a salad. Like, on a really hot day, if I pick up a salad, I got my AC on. Food's good. It's a salad, okay? But, like, I'm not securing a salad and doing this and zipping. And, like, I am not doing anything to that salad to make it arrive any differently. I'm just not. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Is Pedro crazy? Has he lost his mind? Or have I convinced some of y'all that, you know what? He might be right. The hot bags are just an illusion. It's an optics thing. And with being Serve Safe certified and all that, there are things that as drivers we should do to make sure we're not adding to the elements. We should be washing our hands, maybe having some sanitizer. If you're a smoker, I don't think we should be smoking in our car while we have an active delivery. That's me. But I know many people do it. Do what you want, right? But for me, I wouldn't want to get a bag that smells like smoke. But that's just me. But, you know, beyond washing our hands and stuff, yeah, we can't, the food, if it's gonna get a consumer sick, is already happened before we got it, based on how the kitchen staff holds the food, prepares the food, washes their hands. That's been done. Most of what we do is not going to affect that because we're not preparing the food and these bags are sealed. But consumers will, and DoorDash can also hold us accountable for not doing things appropriately. You should use a hot bag. You should be washing hands. These are easy things you can do to protect yourself, but protect your consumers. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I decided not to use a hot bag for the rest of the week, most of my consumers, minus if it's ice cream, like from a blizzard from DQ, which the summertime's coming, so those are happening, I definitely recommend getting something to keep it to where it's not soggy, right? You can do the best you can. You're not gonna be able to do it all the time, but, and then pizza's one item, obviously, you gotta have that bag. Once again, it's also an optics thing, but those pizzas usually are coming out hot, fresh. You can put it in the bag. It is what it is, right? Consumers are used to seeing that, right? But if you think about like the old delivery days of the Chinese restaurants, a lot of those guys didn't use bags. They arrived at your door with the brown paper bag. Look back at any kind of whatever. They arrived at your door, brown paper bag. And any kind of issue was already happened at the restaurant when the food was being prepared. Us using a bag and out most of the time does nothing. So now that I made a really silly video about hot bags, you guys drop a comment and let me know what you think. What equipment do you use? Drop a comment if there's some kind of bag out there that really does up the temperature of food, right? And maybe that could be a benefit because the food's arriving super, super hot and warm and it's really great for the consumer. But once again, most of us don't and we'll never use equipment like that. So most of this is optics. It's a way for the company, it's a way for us to just say we did something. We're crossing off a box, we're checking off a thing like we do in a lot of parts. We do a lot of work that's just, I'm just checking it off, right? I'm just checking it off. That's all this is. So now it's your time to tell me in the comments, change my mind. Share a story, change my mind. I will continue to use a hot bag. I got it back there, you can see it right there. I use it often. I use it almost all the time, okay? Especially when I need to use it. But you guys changed my mind. Is it really helping or is it just optics? If you like this video or others, check out this one here. Consider hitting subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.